Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit AITAH and it's by user ArtisticBeing293. Would I be the a-hole if I don't send my mom's drunk confession to my stepfather? My mom, 45 female, and dad, 46 male, got divorced when I, 22 female, was 14. Their marriage ended because my mom cheated on my dad with my uncle, dad's brother. It was chaos. My uncle was pretty much disowned by the entire family. They got married and had my cousin brother, 5 male. I do not talk to my mom that often. I do not express it, but I loathe her for destroying 2 homes because she had to be a cheater. I lived with my dad mostly. He is an amazing dad and always prioritized me, unlike my mother who settled outside of town with her new family. So since then, it has been me and my dad. 3 years ago, he started dating Sarah, 40 female, who was the little sister of his close friend. Sarah always had a crush on dad, but she moved away for college. Recently, she has opened a business in our town. I love Sarah. She is an incredible human. She is now pregnant with my little sister or brother. I have noticed how happy my dad has become since he started dating Sarah. I would say even more than he was happy with mom. Their marriage wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either. Probably because of my mom's partying habits. They lived as a civil union till now, but dad and Sarah decided it is best they get married soon because a new baby is on the way. My grandfather wanted a big ceremony for this, so we have been busy with the wedding preparations. Now, out of nowhere, I got a voicemail from my mom. It is weird because even though we talk on the phone, she never leaves me any voicemails. I played it and it was addressed to my dad. She was drunk and was crying the entire time. She said that she made a mistake and to forgive her. She never meant to sleep with my uncle and she only did it because she was angry with him. She is not happy with my uncle because she always has my dad in her mind. She said she even named her son the name he, my dad, picked when he said what name he would choose if he had a son. I realized this must be a mistake because my dad's name and mine start with the same letter of the alphabet, so our contacts in her phone might be next to each other, or maybe she was so drunk that she accidentally sent the voicemail to me. I played it to my dad. He looked angry at first, but then looked disappointed. I asked him what he wants me to do. He said that I should delete it. I was confused when I heard him say this. He further explained that my mom is in the past now. She has her own family. If this voicemail gets leaked, she could lose the only people who are with her right now, and he doesn't want to create tension in her life by exposing her. She already had her fair share of insults from family and friends since her affair was exposed. Also, they have a child and it will be traumatizing for him too. But I think that my uncle needs to know what my mom is up to now. So, would I be the a-hole if I share this voicemail with my uncle, who is unfortunately my stepdad, or should I listen to my dad? Well, OP, even though I would love for you to expose your mom for the cheater that she is, your dad is absolutely right. OP, if you expose your mom, sure, you will feel that satisfaction of exposing this person who tore your family apart, tore the whole family apart because, well, she definitely sucks. But your cousin/brother, his world would be obliterated. Also, if my assumptions from what you wrote on the post are correct about your mom, I don't think she's gonna need your help to destroy her second marriage, cause I'm pretty sure she can do that by herself. So OP on this one, like I said, I absolutely agree with your dad. I think you should destroy that message cause no good is gonna come from it and you don't need that emotional burden. Your mom is part of the past. Bringing this up now is just gonna stir up drama that is unnecessary. So I think it's best to not even give it a second thought and just keep living your life. Your mom and her shenanigans are now a problem of your uncle/stepdad. That sounds so weird to say. Anyways, OP, I'd say delete the message and move on. And what do you guys think about this whole situation? What would you do if you were in OP's shoes? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. Philosopher Sad 1808 says, "You need to stay out of it. You told your dad and he told you what he wanted. What he said was so respectful of all the people involved. Take a page from his book. No good will come from it. Your uncle knew who he was marrying. Do not meddle in your dad's relationships." Toss off mate says, not the a-hole if you don't share. Why would you tell stepdad/uncle? If this does cause a massive family implosion, your mom's 5-year-old child will be the one that suffers the most, right? Your stepdad/uncle knew what kind of woman your mother was when he got involved with her. They are both cheating scum that deserve each other. If your dad thinks it's best that you delete it, then I think that's the best course of action. This situation is between your mom and dad. Let them deal with it. Not your circus, not your monkeys. Smarter than the average bear, well, that's good, says you would be the a-hole if you send it. You did the right thing, and your dad, the rightful intendant of the message, has told you what he wants. Don't let vengeance and anger cause you to ruin another kid's life. Your mom lives her punishment every day, and the kid is innocent. You have an awesome dad. He seems to be genuinely happy and not want revenge. Move on and try to be happy, like your dad. Nari123 says, I have a mother like this, OP, and believe me when I say she did what she did to blow up your father's life again. And the worst part is, she is using you to do it for her. Drunk or not, this is a manipulative tactic, and one your father knows well, judging by what he replied with. Your father has probably already told Sarah and let her know. You did the right thing going to your father, but moving forward from that, this isn't your problem, OP. Wash your hands and walk away, or you will hurt a lot of people in the destruction, and hurting innocent people on your mother's behalf isn't worth it. Additional information from OP's comments. Honestly, even if I do not show my uncle, this whole thing will explode anyways. My mom uses cheating as a coping mechanism, something my older cousin told me. She cheated on my dad multiple times. The affair with my uncle was the last straw for dad. He did try to make things work with my mom for me before that. I really wouldn't be surprised if she is already cheating. And yes, my dad did a paternity test when I was 7 because my mom cheated on him with a random dude around the time I was conceived. Plus, people always say I look like my dad a lot, so I have no doubt he is my bio dad. Alright, well, the community says that OP would not be the a-hole if she didn't share it, and that is what actually everybody is telling her, not to share it. Now, OP did give us some context regarding her family dynamics, but didn't give any indication as to what she's gonna do, so we need to move on to the update to see what happens next. Because we don't just have one update, we've got 3. But of course, before all of that, here's another one of my playlists for you to enjoy after this video. Now, let's move on with the first of 3 updates. Hello guys, I wanted to give an update on my previous post. I took your advice and deleted the voicemail. I know it will not do anyone any good. My dad did say he will talk to Sarah about it, so I stayed out of it. The next day, my mom called me to say she is sorry. She was drunk out of her ass and was spewing nonsense. She asked me if my dad listened to it. I said yes, but he told me to delete it. I also told her firmly that she should stop acting like a teenager when she is a mother of 2 kids. Did she really think her little stunt will work? I told her it was her decision to cheat and leave dad. She doesn't deserve a pity party after my dad had moved on. She said she understood and thanked me for deleting the messages. I thought that was it. The problem is gone and we can move on. But it was short-lived. Today we were having lunch. The whole family was with us, including our grandparents. My uncle, stepdad, came screaming, demanding to see my dad. My mom was with him, trying to get him out of the property. When my dad came out, he literally jumped on dad, telling him he was a homewrecker, calling him all sorts of names. Apparently, he found the voicemail on her phone. But not just that, he found several voice notes on her drunk confessions that she still loves dad and hopes they can work this out. This turned ugly real quick. My uncle's stepdad was not having it and said that he has no right to break his family. He is already the reason why he, my uncle, is disowned by the family. My dad, who always stays calmed, raised his voice saying he has no interest in him or his floozy of a wife. Uncle also accused him of paternity fraud, saying his kid is not his, but basically belonged to my dad because he is sure my dad and mom had an affair 5 years ago, which resulted in my brother. My mom was saying this is not true. My dad told him he is happy to do a paternity test if that gets him off his back. He wants nothing to do with him or his wife, and what's even more insane, my dad was out of the country for a vacation with his buddies 5 years ago when my mom got pregnant. There is no way he is the father. Also, Dad can't stand to look at Mom. Anyway, my uncles kicked both of them out. My stepdad uncle threatened to take my dad to court and sue for child support. It was a mess, and of course, this whole thing upset Sarah. She thought it was really disrespectful and she wants some peace. She has no energy to deal with these shenanigans. I get that. My dad is willing to make it up to her. I am sure she doesn't believe a word my uncle said. My dad is pissed. There was a family discussion where they said, "That witch has ruined more than 2 lives." I am already ashamed of my mom, really. I cannot believe I am related to her. I sometimes wish she wasn't my bio mom. I have blocked her. I only kept in contact because of my brother, but not anymore. OP's edit. I think I should clear it out that she sent me the message from a messaging app. I forgot that most people think a voice message and a voicemail are different, but I always thought they are the same, just in a different platform. I call every voice message a voicemail. Maybe I should have cleared that out earlier. Also, my dad did call out my uncle/stepdad for being the original homewrecker, and he said, "Get over it, she is not your wife anymore, she is mine now and you're ruining it." Alright, well, OP took the community's advice and she did delete the message, didn't show it to anyone, but stepdad found out anyways and now it's a whole mess. So if you want to keep riding this roller coaster to see how it ends, well then stick with me and let's move on to the next update. So today I was supposed to take my little brother out for a carnival in our town. He was excited. I promised to take him. But due to the recent events, I have been doubting my decision. I asked my dad for his car so I can take my little bro because mine broke down. I know there is a lot of tension, but a promise is a promise. My dad warned me that my mom could use my bro to manipulate me. I kept that in mind and called in advance to inform her that I was picking my brother up in 15 minutes and to have him ready. I arrived at her place and my brother was nowhere to be seen. I called my mom. She says he is still getting ready. I was frustrated because I told her earlier to get him ready. Anyways, I just went inside the house. My uncle was not there. He actually told my cousin that he was going to take a paternity test of him and my brother so that he knows what his next step is. My mother saw me and tried to hug me. I just stopped her. I was not in the mood. She asked me to sit in the living room and wait for my brother. At first, she tried to make small talk with me, but when I refused to reciprocate, she told me, "Okay, I get it that you're mad at me, but I do not deserve to be punished. I know calling your dad was a mistake, but you have to know that I still love him. He is the love of my life. I needed to get all of that out of my system, so my therapist suggested I start journaling, but voice recordings work best." I called her out on her BS. If she really loved Dad, she wouldn't have had an affair with his own brother. She cannot love anyone but herself. She tried to explain, moan, and cry, and even went on a feminist rant. "Oh, you don't know how hard it was for me as a woman. I was always shamed for my sexual liberation. Do you have any idea how much hypocrisy a woman has to face if she wants to explore sexually?" As a woman and a feminist, I took it as an offense that she used a political movement to justify her cheating. I told her I am not interested in listening to her rant. She can be a sexually liberated woman all she wants, but she has no right to hurt people for her own selfish needs. She never even thought about us or her son when she was on the verge of destroying another family. I called her an empty shell of a woman before my brother came downstairs. I was so angry and frustrated. What kind of a woman talks like that to her own child? I took my brother to the carnival and tried to keep my mind off my mom. I realized I need to stay away from her until this matter is resolved. I told my brother that for a few days I might not be able to visit, but he is free to call me. I feel bad for him. I went through a painful period when my parents divorced. I know how it feels when your own family betrays you. I was in a position where I had to choose between my two parents. I hope something good comes up. Alright, well, OP's mom hits a new low and OP is definitely done with her for good now. Absolutely no contact. So let's move on to the final update to see how this story ends. I hope this is my final update. I do have some news. I am still not in contact with my mom. She tried, but I was adamant and shut down any attempt to communicate. Anyway, I went to visit my grandparents. That's when I got to know what happened to my mom from a cousin. So the results of the paternity test came back and my brother is 100% my uncle's child. But that does not mean my mom didn't cheat. You see, she has been cheating on my uncle too. And to make this even more ridiculous, my uncle has been having an affair with a co-worker. I am not surprised. Both of them are really toxic people to be around. A positive is that my uncle has stopped harassing my dad and he is still disowned by the family. My uncle is still convinced that one of the people my mom cheated with was my dad, and all of this did cause some really serious issues for Sarah. But the good thing is that now they are fine. My dad managed to prove his innocence in everything. I still don't think he needed to do it because I know he would never do that, but it's done. I don't know if mom and uncle would give each other divorce or not, but I did hear rumors that they are considering an open relationship. I mean, I hope not for other people's sake. My brother and I are still in contact, so I can see that the fights between uncle and mom have stressed him a lot over the past couple of days. I just wish I could move out of my dad's house so that I can take him with me as soon as possible. I have to say that my dad is an angel. He told me that I can have my brother over the weekends and that the environment in my uncle's home is not good for my little brother. Even if he hates his brother, he cannot blame my brother for anything that went down. He is innocent in all of this. Alright OP, I'm gonna call this a positive update. I wish I could call it a happy update, but unfortunately for your little brother, well, that's not true. And regarding your mom and uncle, well, it's been proven beyond any doubt that they are in fact scumbag people. So here's wishing everybody in your family, but those two, the best in the future OP, and hopefully for your little brother, things will go smoothly. Take care OP and thank you for sharing. Now let's finish this video with a mood booster post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance and it's by user PurpleBat811. Fix my issue, but don't talk to me about it. Okay. For context, I work in IT. I don't deal with general computer problems, I'm an expert in a complicated program at work. Almost every department in my work uses this program. When bugs and/or issues are found, I do my best to fix them myself. If I can't fix it, then I forward the issue to our vendor who manages the program for us. Taking new versions of this program is a big deal. We don't take it. We install the new version in a non-production environment and every department must test it and sign off on it. This process can take 1 to 2 months to complete. Now enters our Karen of this story. Note that dealing with her has always been an issue. She always gives me crap for bugging her when I have questions. I thought it was personal, but I asked other people in IT about her and they confirmed that she is always a pain in the ass to deal with. So we were one day away from taking an upgrade. This upgrade was important as it had new features needed for new clients and several extremely needed bug fixes. This is after we went through testing and got sign-off from every department to take the new version. Of course, Karen opens up a help desk ticket on the new version. It's a big enough issue to cancel the upgrade. Submit it literally in the final hour. Needless to say, even the higher-ups were pissed and I got huge pressure to submit this to our vendor as soon as possible. The help desk ticket stated the issue and at the bottom of the ticket was this sentence: "You may not contact me about this issue." So I reviewed the ticket and can you guess what the issue was? User error. Cue malicious compliance. Since I couldn't talk to her about it, I went straight to the higher-ups, the same people pressuring me to submit the issue. Told them the problem and I wasn't allowed to contact her about it. They said they would take care of it. About an hour later, Karen comes sheepishly to my desk. This was the nicest I have ever seen her. I pointed out the issue to her and she said she would review it. 5 minutes later, I got an instant message from her saying to close the ticket. The upgrade then proceeded as planned. This happened several years ago. I wish I could say she got fired for this little stunt, but that didn't happen. However, I got the best next thing. She was no longer in charge of testing. In fact, I haven't gotten a single help desk ticket from her since. Well, OP, she explicitly didn't want you to contact her and you needed to solve the issue. So, well done, OP, you solved it. Thanks for sharing. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out, so here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later, and also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.